Okay, here we are on Guntersville Lake, not too far from the slip where we keep the boat. I'm by myself here, so solo sailing, and not much wind. It was predicted to be about 6 knots, gusting to like 10 or 12, and I thought that'd be perfect, but here we are out here, and not much wind. I was able to sail down to like this point, which is at the end of our little bay or cove, and yeah, some big cabin cruisers went by right here, so I thought I'd try to film that. But it's just big waves, calm water, but big waves. And this is kind of cruising down to a place called Honeycomb Campground. It's through that cut. I think I got a little bit of a video coming up where I zoom in on that. But right now we're just motoring along at about, I don't know, 3 knots or so. And there's that cut we're headed towards. And anyway, at about 3 knots or just shy of that, it seems like I've got about 13 hours according to my little readout there for the electric motor. So that's pretty cool. So 3 knots isn't bad. This is actually like 2.8 knots or something like that. But just kind of cruising along, no hurry. And it's been kind of cloudy. It's a little sunny now, but so it didn't get a whole lot of solar. It's starting to clear up, so I think it'll be a nice evening. And we're just cruising into this little bay. This island over here to the left is called Goat Island, and I guess years ago they actually had goats on there. Some little outfit, you could come in and pet goats or something like that. So I've never seen goats on it or even any activity, but just a place to go. So if they ever got the goats back, I guess it'd be kind of a tourist attraction or something like that. But yeah, so let's see here, 33. So yeah, just cruising in here. I'm gonna find a place to anchor up here. The campground's way ahead up there on the left, and we're at about 60 feet, if I remember right, deep right here. So we got to find a place where it makes sense to anchor. And let's see here. I don't know if I've got a shot of spending the night or not, but I think this is the next morning. I can't remember. I'm doing the voiceover here, but yeah, I think this is the next morning. And yeah, we stayed right up there, or we're going to stay there. I don't remember which. Oh, sunset. Okay, so that would be where we're headed. And then in the morning, calm again, but you can see there's that little line up there where there is some wind. And we had enough to, kind of sail off of anchor here. And now if I can just get up here, we're almost into the wind, and I don't know, I was able to sail a little bit, but it just didn't hold up too well. There were a bunch of fishermen out here, and I don't know if I should call them fishermen, because it's more like these guys just play video games while they're on their boat. If you see, he's just looking down. He's looking at a screen and then casting where the fish finder says the fish are. I don't know if that's I guess in reality you do maybe catch a real fish, so maybe it's not a video game. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, this is just, I think we're under sail here, if I remember right. We had a little bit of wind in the morning after we left, and just kind of cruising back upriver. And somewhere in here, that's the cut where there's the fisherman again, but that's where we spent the night, back in there. And then just kind of cruising along here. Boat's going good. Still got plenty of battery power. I think it's showing that I've got about 8 hours or so left at 2.8 knots or something like that. So overall, for what I'm doing here, I think electric motor works out great. It's nice and quiet. You can just kind of cruise along, and you hardly even know you're under power. Really, it's pretty cool. But for long distance stuff, and I don't think. I've got a good solar panel and I get a good bit of power, but on a day like this where it's cloudy, I don't really know if it makes sense. I'd have to fire up the generator, and then you got the noise of the generator, and at that point it's like, well, why don't you just have a diesel, right? So I'm not opposed to diesels, and I would probably go that route at this point if I had it to do all over again. But for now, and for what I'm doing, the electric motor is kind of awesome. Yeah, Barge kind of came around the corner back there, and I got out of his way, and they're huge, but they move fairly fast. Like, I was tacking back and forth across this river, working my way upstream, and it's like, one more tack. I don't think I've got time for that. And it's almost, I'd say it's the same with any big ship, but it is kind of deceiving how fast they're actually moving and how slow they appear. So because they're so big, they just seem like they're barely moving. But, he came up through there fairly fast. I made 2 or 3 tacks. I saw him way early, so that was nice. I wasn't surprised. But we just let him go by and then started sailing again. And I think I had pretty good sailing. Bass boats everywhere. But let him go by, and then I had pretty good sailing up the river, back up past the this was funny, back up past the marina where I stay. So my boat, for whatever reason, there's of course there's channel markers in the river, right, which is nice. And my boat, if I'm not really just watching all the time, she tries to run every one of those markers down. It's pretty impressive. There's something to it, because it's uncanny. I'll just look ahead of the sail and I'm like, you are headed right towards a marker again. So if I'm not paying attention, I think she'd just run them down. It's crazy. But here's the bridge going over to Guntersville. And then I decided, I haven't done this yet, I've been close, but there's this city harbor, and it's all just for boats. It's got they have a bunch of slips and dockage, and it's all free, and you can just dock your boat up here. And then they have some little restaurants and shops, and I think they're putting in an ice cream shop. But it's the first time doing this solo, so it's kind of fun, and everything went real good. I had a bow line ready. I just stepped out and ran the bow line around a cleat and back to the boat, and then just put on a stern line, and that was that. So there's kind of just walking around. I think that's the ice cream shop or something, I can't remember. But the whole area is pretty cool. They have a brewery right there where those silos were a second ago, or whatever they're called. And then around the backside, there's like a boardwalk along the river, and there's actually a place over there too for more boats. So it can handle a lot of boat traffic, and I've been there when it was really crowded. Matter of fact, I went in, it was blowing like crazy. There were about 5 boats. I think might have been the 4th of July. And my wife and I just peeled back out of there, because I was like, this is crazy. There were boats behind me, in front of me, everybody's trying to leave, and I think probably most of them were partaking in some adult beverages. And it just didn't seem like a good idea. So we bailed out of there and just went somewhere else. But there's my little boat, and I'm pretty much the only one here. There were a couple other little boats around, but not too many. But yeah, this whole area here, it's really set up kind of cool. Little bar right here. And then jumped in the boat and took off, and we're just sailing back out of there, or we're motoring, and then I think I raised the sail here pretty quick. And all in all, pretty nice day. Had a good time. Went back. So we were upriver here from where our slip is, and then cruised out through here a little bit, and then I'll turn downriver, which would be left. There's the city harbor. So yeah, the boat's doing pretty good. I still have plenty of power. I could still pretty much go most of the day. It's about noon or so here now, I think. But we had good wind too, and I say we, I guess me and the boat. But yeah, sailed down through here. This is always kind of exciting. I don't know why. You hear all the traffic on the bridge. It's kind of, you got these big piers and stuff to give you a little bit of excitement. But I can remember years ago, I'd see boats while I was in a vehicle from the top of the bridge, and I'd be like, man, that must be cool, And then, man, I'm the boat now. So I don't know. That's a little bit like an accomplishment. It's kind of rewarding. So, but plenty tall. There's no problems there. There's a bunch of places where I could take the boat underneath between the piers, but it goes back down, and so I always go to the tallest spot if there's no traffic, just because why not? And let's see. So this straight ahead is the entrance to the marina where I'm at, the Alred Marina, Alred, Alred, and way up there is the marina. But man, good wind here. It was nice. It wasn't gusty or anything. It was just kind of steady. It was kind of backing around, which made it a little bit, I don't know. It's always doing that. It seems like on this river. But you set your sails and you set your course, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to adjust that, and that's probably just sailing. But anyway, I left my lazy jacks up, which I think the boat would do a little better if I tucked those away. They are removable, or movable, I should say, and they strap onto the mast when you want them to, and then when you're ready for them again, you just bring them out and clip them on. Kind of an elastic affair, but they work pretty good. But yeah, just cruising along here, and I always try to sail as far as I can up through there. But today we had, usually I'm tacking up into this slip, or into this bay here. And, but today, man, just cruising. We got a good wind, and just making good time. And it seemed like the boat was doing an amazing job of pinching into the wind. Like it was kind of surprising, everything's saying that I should almost be in the no-go zone. And she was just running pretty good, or not running, but sailing pretty good. We're on a close hauled tack there, and I'm just kind of cruising. And I experimented with pulling the boom over a little bit and getting a little bit higher, but just fun stuff. But yeah, it's fun. And then just coming into the slip here, I tried to sail all the way in, but you can see that there's just nothing left there in the wind department. And then let's see, we put the boat in there, and made some Mayan spaghetti. And some of you may know what that is. If you do, let me know, because I've only heard it in one other place. Oh yeah, I had to do some throttle work here real quick. Yeah, expert photography, videography. I leave a loop. I probably won't be able to show it because I have to get things ready, but there's a loop right there on the dock, and if I can reach that loop while the boat's cruising in there, then I can just hook it around a winch, and then that's pretty much done. That loop right there, I don't know if I show this or not, but anyway, if I can grab that loop, put it on the winch, I've got the line just long enough to where the boat won't crash into there we go. And then I can just hold it off. Once that tightens up, that's it. And then captured.